This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, that's nice. So I go to massing and site. Now here we have, I always told you, you have to work on in place mass and not on the place mass, because we are going to create a mass within a scene, within a project, and within a project, so that uh, the massing is placed inside the project without even um, going into the Revit family. Okay, so in place mass, if you click in place mass, it will say mass 1. You can give your own name. Now I am going to call it horizontal massing, and I'm just going to click here. Now what next I'm going to do is going to uh, you know the project, and okay, now uh, just keeping this project over here so that I will have access to it, but it's not very important. Here I am going to create a rectangle. Okay, roughly around it is around 12,000 by 12,000. So I'll make it a square. I'll call it a square because it is 12,000 by 12,000. Okay, so what I do after that, as I told you, to work on massing, you should go to 3D view. Okay, in the earlier classes, I was talking about a simple mass wherein you click this here and say solid form, and there it becomes a solid form, and later on manipulate maybe the line segment or the points, so as to create a new form. Okay, a new form, which is like uh, by moving the segment of the line or by moving the corner points of the mass. So this was the first class which I taught you, which this is called simple mass. And if you press SD, you will get a shaded view of the mass. You can see from other angles also. If you move, if you happen to see from here, you will see this mass like this. It is totally an odd shape. It has you can see it from the sides, you can see it from the south, you can see it like this. So you can see this mass in all the directions. Okay, so this is how you create a simple mass. Okay, now the next mass which I said I will teach you today is using it is called horizontal mass. For this mass, it's important to have levels. It is important to have levels, whatever it may be. You need levels to create. I'm sorry, to create vertical mass. I'm teaching vertical mass now, not horizontal mass, vertical mass. So you need to have multiple levels so that you can see, you can go and see the levels. What I'm planning to have is I'm going to have multiple levels so that I will create a mass uh, uh, using vertical massing. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this value into 3000. I feel 4000 is little too much. Okay, so for the time being, what I'll do is I'll delete this mask. You all know this now from the last class. I'm not going to show you it again and again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to south elevation. I'm going to add lot more levels. How do you add levels? You can always double tap two L's, and you can click on this icon, which means offset, and give the distance between the levels. Right now at the moment it is 3000. I am going on adding about 6 levels here. So I have 6 levels, and what I'm going to do is that I am planning to have a vertical massing. How do we have vertical massing? We go to floor plan, of level 1. Okay, and here I'm going to massing inside. I'm going to click here, place in place mass. So you call it vertical massing. So here I'm going to give a shape. Probably I'll start with a simple shape, just like the previous one, square. Okay, you can adjust this distance. As I told you, you can make it 11,000 into 10,000. So it is a perfect square, 10 by 10. So where did I place this shape? I have placed this shape in level 1. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to level 6. Okay, so in level 6, actually you're supposed to see the previous level or the level underneath that. So I think you all know that it is enabled only if underlay is enabled. You will be able to see the level 1. Right now at the moment, if you click level 6, the underlay of level 6 is kept as underlay is actually level 5. So what happens is in level 5, there is nothing. There is no square, no rectangle, nothing over there in level 5. So nothing is particularly seen. So what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to change this underlay into level 1 and say apply. So what we have, BC level 1, which is nothing but a square of 10,000 mm by 10,000 mm. And I am seeing it just below level 6. Now, this is done so that we can create something interesting. There's no more, no bigger goal for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one more square 10,000 by 10,000 in level 6. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and rotate this by 45 degree. Now what is happening is in level 1 it is a square, same 10,000 by 10,000. And if you have any doubts, please you can switch off the mute and start speaking. So here it is in level 6, you will have the square, same 10,000 by 10,000 rotated into 45 degree. Okay, so now what you do, you go to 3D. So you'll find this is level 1 and this is level 6. So you have to select both and say create form, solid form. So what has happened? Okay, you notice that this square is twisted to that angle 45 degree. It twisted itself. So that is how mass is created. Now if you want to check it properly, okay, you can go to the south elevation or somewhere. Okay, you'll find that it has twisted itself south north. You can find that it is twisted itself and it shows this is how it shows. This is how the massing is shown. So once you do that, you can give finish. I think I got message from Chandrika saying that I have got few issues with Revit. I think I can't join now. I'll fix and join tomorrow. Sorry, sir. No problem. So no issues. We are continuing with the um, massing. Now, this is how vertical massing work. Okay. Now, do you have any doubts now? Please.
No, sir. It's clear
No,
till
sir.
then.
All of you are clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So this is how um, a, a vertical mass is formed. Now I
Sir,
have
can you tell how you
created a,
connected the level 6 and level 0, level 1, sir? Can you just repeat that thing? It was not heard properly when you were talking,
properly.
sir.
Okay, okay. Now what I did, so I'll show it. I'll just give edit in place. Oh, I just can't do that. I have to redo this. Okay, I'll show another example. I'll go to level 1. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
here, what I do, I'll click on in place mask. I'll show other example, vertical mask one. So here, what I do, um, I choose maybe not square. I'll choose a rectangle. Okay. So this is a rectangle. Now it is in level 1. If you remember, I went to massing and site, clicked on in place mass, which you don't see now. And then what I did, I clicked on rectangle and created a rectangle. What is the width of this rectangle? Length is 10,000 and the width is 4,000. That's fine for me. And what I do, I'll go to level 6. I don't give tick, nothing. I'll just go to level 6 without even completing anything. I see the underlay of level 1. Remember I told you to click on level 6 and adjust the underlay. Here is where the underlay is. I changed it to level 1 and clicked apply. That's why I'm able to see level 1. Understood? So after that, what I did, now in this case, I'm giving a different scene. I am going to create a smaller rectangle over there, a smaller square maybe. I'm going to create 4,000 by 4,000, a small square over there. So now down we have a long rectangle 4,000 by 10,000. On top we have a small square 4,000 by 4,000. So it's all sitting within it. Now after this is the important thing. You have to go to 3D. After going to 3D, select both the shapes and then say create form, solid form. So there it is. You have the what do you say, form. See, once you make the form also, you have all the rights to move it up and down. Maybe I'm making it 2000 here. So it is, it is a different form. You have all relatively all the, access to change the form, even the form is done. Then maybe you can click on finish mask. So you have the mask over here. Is that clear with you, Gagan? Is it all clear? Is everyone clear about it?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Clear.
fine. So this is a simple mass, a simple mass, uh, not a simple mass. This is a vertical massing. As I told you earlier in the class, there is never a name called simple mass, vertical mass, horizontal mass, or path mass. There is never a name like that. These are the names given by me throughout my teaching career, just because students will understand the relatively, when you have a label for anything, it is easy for me to teach and easy for you to understand, and that is why I have given this name. Now I call this a vertical mass because the mass grows from the level 1 to level 6, or level 1 to level 2, level 1 to level 5, whatever it may be. It can be from any level to any level. The most important thing, it is growing from bottom to top, or top to bottom. It is a vertical movement that's happening. So that is why I have given that particular name. Okay, so in simple mass, I cannot define anything like that. It can move horizontally, it can move vertically, it can be done anyway. So there is no particular movement that is happening to create mass. That is why I don't call it. I do call it as a simple mass. Okay. Now coming to the next point. Now there are lot of complicated things we can do with just this horizontal mass. You'll be surprised to see the number of things that you can create using this horizontal mass. I'll come to horizontal mass again and I will show you the multiple options that are available. Now I'm selecting all these fellows and I'm trying to move them out of my viewport area so that I can work properly. There is no other big deal. I just want to keep it away from this area. This is my viewport area, and I'm going to create another horizontal mass. So can you all please switch on the mic and just tell me how this massing is done? Yeah, I'll
First,
can you
we go to
can
massing inside.
first we go to massing inside.
After massing inside, we go topo surface.
What is it?
In place
So I can't see 1 second.
In
Like
place mass.
we go to curtain system.
no, we go to in place. In place mass.
Oh yeah, sorry,
Go
in
to
place mass.
in place mass, not to the curtain system, and name it.
Vertical.
Vertical
Maybe
mass.
any name you can. There is no particular rule that you have to give it as a vertical mass, because according to your project you can give the name. Maybe call it library, maybe library mass or school mass or whatever you are going to create. You can name like that. Now for the class reasons, mass 02. I'm going to say like that. Okay. Now in
And then
this time, what you should be doing?
We should
we should
choose
do that.
one.
Create a rectangle
Choose
or
a shape.
anything.
Any shape. Now I am going for a different shape. I am tired of rectangles and squares. So I
Yes,
am
sir.
going to create okay, I am going to take a inscribed polygon.
Shape in level 1.
Okay, so I'm going to create a shape in level 1. That's what exactly I'm going to do. So 5400 inscribed polygon. I've done it already. Now
And then we
what
go
I
to
do,
3D.
Move to level 6. Level
no, no,
3 or
no,
level 6, sir?
no, level 3 or level 6 or whatever level, not to 3D immediately right of now. I'm going to level 3
Okay.
now, or maybe level 2.
Level
I'll
3,
go to
we'll
level
give
2.
a little rotation and do one more shape,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. So I have
So
gone to
even
Then
we can
level
even do like
3.
a level 2, level 3, level
underground.
4 and all and make it no, sir.
Yeah, yeah. I'll show you how to do. I'm going to level 3. You can
Create
switch off the
another
mic.
one.
Whose mic is that? Everybody overhead 4, no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So switch off
You.
the mic. Okay. So what I'm going to do is here I'm in level 3, but I don't see level 1. What is the reason?
The underlay should be level
We
1.
didn't give
Sir,
underlay.
because it's
Uh,
hidden behind,
Underlay
sir.
we
oh,
should
very good,
change.
very good. We didn't give the underlay, so we are going to give the underlay. Where is the underlay? So
Underlay should be level 1, sir.
level
Level
1, and then apply. So I do see the octagon, right?
Then finish.
So
Oh,
it's
I'm
like we have to
sorry,
select the
hexagon.
level thing and we have to then apply, sir.
Yeah, yeah. You can change the underlay and then apply. Okay. So after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create. I'm going to create.
Guys, once you talk, mute the mic or else it's too much noise.
So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a square over here. I'm rectangle. I'm creating a rectangle over here. I have kept it to the center. Now you notice that here, how many sides do the square have? It has 4 sides. How many for this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There
6.
are 6 sides. 6 sides, and here it is 4 sides. Now,
Can't read anything actually.
so one,
Guys, please unmute.
What?
Guys, mute your mics. Everybody mute your mic.
okay. So here I have a square, a rectangle, and I have some other shape which is, I think it is hexagon, right?
Justin, mute
Hexagon.
your mic, man.
So everyone muted the mic. So you have hexagon and here you have square, I'm sorry, rectangle. So what will happen is I have given this just to show you. I'm going to 3D now. This is when we go to 3D and we'll select both and say create solid form. What has happened over here is a subject of study now. What happens here? From here the
Sir, where
line
is
went
create
and got.
solid mass, sir? Where is create solid mass?
So you
When you go to
select like
3D, you get
this.
that.
Yeah, when you go to 3D only you will find that. So you have to select both and then only it will come as create form and solid form. Are you clear with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
now
Yes, sir.
now here if you notice this line had gone and joined to this one simply because there is no place for it to connect over here. There is no point over here. You understood? So this itself is a subject of study. If you turn this side, again this one went and got connected over there because it never had a point to connect over here. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now that is the main thing you have to understand in massing. Now I am going to give undo. I'm giving Control Z, and what I'm going to do now is that I will go to level 3, and what I will do is I will add a split over here and over here. So why I am doing the split? So I am splitting this line into two lines so that I will have a point for me for my hexagon to connect. Now
Sir,
it
sir,
it
sir, how to split, sir, once again?
okay. So I'll show you. I will come to sorry. I'll come to level 3. So this was a single line. If you remember, it is a single line. So here this split element, you can use it for cutting the wall or whatever it is. So the same thing, you just click on split element. It is over here. See, it is where this move and all these things are there. Move, trim, offset, rotate, mirror, scale, and all these things I have taught you in the previous semester. Maybe in one
Yes,
more
sir.
class I'll teach you. So there is the split element, and there's one more thing called split with gap. Don't do that. Don't give split with gap. Click on split element and just click here and click here. You can actually see that the line is split into 2, 1, 2, and 2. So that makes how many lines? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 lines are formed. So now you go to 3D. Now you select both and then create form, solid form. You will notice that this line connects directly where the split element is. Did you all get this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
this you have to remember the idea of split element. Why do we have split element? Split element is to create a proper. You can't say proper massing. It's all right if you don't have split element. Also, it creates a kind of mass. There is no rule that mass has to be like this or mass has to be like that. However, if you want to create a perfect geometrical mass or something like that, I don't know how to call it, symmetrical mass or something like that, at that point you might have to use the split element. Is that clear for you?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So now what
Yes,
I'll
sir.
do is I'll show this in elevation also. You can see this. Just moving this fellow. Hey, my goodness. So you move it here south, you'll come to know this is how it is seen in elevation. North, that is how it is seen in elevation. East, west. So you understood that it has come perfectly. Now in 3D, back in 3D again. So sometimes that will be a wonderful thing to do. Okay, so now I'll give finish mass. Now again, what I'll do, I'll go to third floor, third level, level 3. Okay, I can offer some correction. You have to measure the distance between the two lines. You have to place all these things correctly. All that I will teach you in one more class. That is another subject by itself. How to place this rectangle and correctly to the center of the octagon, I mean hexagon. That itself is another subject. I'll teach you that. Right now at the moment, you please concentrate on how to create vertical mass. So different kinds of vertical mass. First type I showed you, second type also I've showed you now. Now sometimes by I'm by going to the south elevation, selecting this and say giving mirror draw axis, click here and draw like this one more. It will create one more floor, and again select like this and draw the axis, draw like this, create one more. That itself will look like one interesting building. I have not done anything. I have added one mass on top of the other upside down, and it creates a it looks like it is as though I
Sir,
have
how is that? Once again, can you show us, sir? Like one more time. That's all.
okay, that nothing
Mirror,
great.
mirror.
I'll show you once again. It's a mirror. I went to south elevation. I select this mass. Then I select mirror draw axis. Mirror draw axis means click on mirror and draw the axis. Axis is like this. So what happened? It mirrored once. Again, I selected this. I gave mirror axis and I clicked here again it. So multiples of this. You would have seen some buildings being constructed like this, and we would have like applauded the whole thing. I mean, if you have the idea, it is easy to do all these things. There's nothing very. It's all generated design. You can say it's not even creative. Okay, so this is how you do it. Okay, so also I don't like this. I have a different idea. I'll go to the level 3, which is nothing but a rectangle. I will create a massing and site. I will create in place mass. So I call it vertical mass 3. Okay, now here what I do, I in alignment with that previous uh, lines, I create one more rectangle and I will go to fifth floor, fifth level. Now I want to see the level 3. What do? You click on level 5, you come underlay, you change it into level 3 and apply. You will see that. Now here I am interested in something else. I'm going to create a circle. Okay, perfect. Circle. And how do you align the circle to this rectangle? Anyone has idea?
We start
It's
from a point of the rectangle, sir.
Take an axis and make
Diagonals,
it
sir.
symmetrical and
Draw
make it dot.
diagonals.
create a who said draw
Yeah.
diagonal?
Tarun, sir.
Okay, so draw diagonal. That's the correct way to do it. Just draw like this. Click on the diagonal, delete it. We simply don't want that. Okay. Now what I'll do is I will add a split point just to be little more creative. I don't add a split point. I can add here also. Okay, I'll show that in an easier way first. I'll add a split point here. I'll add a split point here. I'll add a split point here. You have 4 split point. Now I'll go to 3D. What I'll do is I will use select and select both of this and say solid form. So what will happen? That created a, you understood, it created a from square to this one, it automatically created and a mass. Okay, sometimes I will feel like not doing this way, so I'm doing undo. I'm going to level 5. I will go to, I'm sorry, level 6, not level 5. Oh, sorry, I went to level 5. Yeah, level 5. I'll create a circle from the midpoint of the diagonal line. Very good. Delete the diagonal line and I will create split over here. not exactly where the rectangle has a point, so that it will look little more interesting. I'll select both these and say create form, solid form. So this gives a little bit twisted look. It is a twisted look. It has a twisted look, and so that is another way to create mass. So depending on the position of the split element, you can create interesting shapes. You can create interesting shapes in the mass. Are you clear with this,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
all of you?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Now, if you notice, I have in this second, the third massing, I showed you how to correctly place or center the circle to the rectangle. So
Circle.
similarly,
Circle to the rectangle.
circle to rectangle. Similarly, is this position also? That is also done in the same way, but I didn't want to overdose you in the first point itself. You may get relatively confused, so that is why I showed it in the when I did the third massing. I can show all these things in the first time itself, but it will be very confusing for anyone to understand that. So that is why I did it now. So so this is how you create. There is one more probability. Now, do you remember void form, all of you?
Yes, sir. Splitting the
Yeah, cutting the mass or splitting the mass. Yeah, so that is void form. So do you know how it is done in the mass? I am just giving a recap of it. You select the mass for whichever you want to cut. You go to edit in place. Okay, and maybe if that starts with any, you can do it anywhere, but now I'm going to see any form, void form or solid form, can be done in all these ways. How a solid form is done, in the sense you can do void form vertically, void form horizontally, void form in a path. All these things can be done. It is only thing, void form is something which cuts and solid form is something which creates. That's all. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a void form in this shape, which we have already created a solid form. So sometimes the shaded viewport is not very useful, so I press WF so that I can see the wireframe. Now I have a different idea. Now I want to split this. So see, this side is 800 and this side is 800, which means I am right in the center. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete these two lines. I'm sorry, delete one of the lines and connect this line to here, connect this line to here. Oh, sorry. So that I will get a triangle. My idea is to create a triangle. Out of that, double click the line and delete, double click the line and delete. So I have created a triangle. I go to 3D. Oh, it's over here. This fellow is over here, and say create form, void form. So I created a void. I'll push and drag this fellow out. Okay, I'll go to the other side, which is much more clearer. Okay, so also I didn't, sorry.
Sir,
Yeah,
Hello. So
Yeah, I
by
can
using
hear.
this void form, so even while by we can even create like organic designs and we can make voids in the facades of the building also using this same type.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. By saying organic design, what did you mean by?
Like
That
amoeboid
means
shapes,
you
not
should
like
do it
geometric ones.
horizontally, I guess.
Curves, sir,
Uh,
curves.
based on curves. You
Yeah,
want to
sir.
cut something in curves, is it?
So in
Yeah, sir. Like
facade, if
somewhat
you
like an
want to cut,
amoeboid shape.
do it horizontally in facade.
I am getting confused with voices. Any one of you to speak.
So if you want to do with facades, we should do it horizontally, right? Like we should pull the void horizontally.
It can be done anyhow. It is not, there is no mandatory rule that it has to be done horizontally. You can cut across
Yeah, yeah,
also. I showed you in the last class. What I did is, I did all
yeah.
this.
That's why I told.
Yeah, yeah. You can cut across horizontally. You can do it vertically. You can do it based on path. Path still now I have not taught you. So it is not better not to talk about it now. When I start teaching path, I'll show you
So
how to.
path is only way to do the geometry like amoeboid shapes, sir.
Can you state an example for that? Okay, I'll go to the screen. Do you see my screen now? That is my browser, web browser.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sir. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
see, sir.
Let me
Yes,
check
sir.
organic form meaning. I don't know what. I'll just check like this. Which one? This one.
He means something like that, sir.
This.
Something
This
which is
one.
not geometric, sir. Something which is not geometric.
It is not geometric.
No, sir.
Meaning
Like
It's
like
the
it's
this.
full of
the right
Pulling
next to it, there's
organic
one, sir.
forms in building.
Yeah, somewhat like that one, sir.
curves
Mhm.
and all.
Like the above one, like the white gray thing, like you can see that oval kind of is as if there's voids in a building wall.
Here, this one.
First or sixth one, sir.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one. This one or this one? This one.
Yes, sir. That one.
Yeah, that you can create. See, there are certain problems in Revit beyond, this one is created in Revit. This I can teach you how this is created. Some forms will get complicated. It is not
Justin, mute your
that.
mic.
Someone said a chat message. I don't know what. Okay. So this one possible, this one possible, this one possible, this one also possible, but this one is quite difficult to get this. So such advanced forms, okay, it is better to go for Rhino or 3D Max where things are possible means possible. Whatever it is you say, it is possible. This one, how will you create in Revit? It's not possible. So those things very advanced. This is very advanced. Okay, so those things it is better to go through.
Sir,
Uh,
about that thing, I had doubts, sir. Like, okay, if we're not doing that in Revit, and then we do that in some other software, let's say SketchUp, and then we import
mm.
it to Revit, will that happen, sir?
I I have not tried importing anything from SketchUp to Revit,
Sir,
and I
we
doubt
can
doubt
we can
doubt.
import from Revit to SketchUp, sir, not from SketchUp to Revit.
See, that is the problem with
Okay.
SketchUp is SketchUp doesn't have layers. S- SketchUp doesn't follow much hierarchy. It is done like as and how you like. So these
Yeah.
softwares which has all these rules clear will not accept that file. But there might be some plugin you have to search for it.
Okay.
But from Rhino, from 3D Max, I am sure you can bring into Revit.
Revit.
No doubt.
Okay, okay,
No
sir.
doubt. No doubt about it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is I know I have done many times. So that is possible. But from SketchUp, you just check. But one power of SketchUp is that it has too many plugins, unlimited plugins.
Yes,
That
sir.
is why that is one of the reason it is still hanging to the market, because of the plugins they manipulate things. But to get a working drawing, I strongly believe Revit is very good for getting a working drawing. So you can design a small concept in SketchUp and improvise little bit, try to import it into so from SketchUp to Revit, and then get the working drawing in Revit. Again, export it into AutoCAD, beautify the layer, make thick and thin lines, do what not, get it plotted outside, and you can still run the show.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
So these are the things. Okay. So now I have shown you this. Now regarding the form, I mean creating a void form, it is not, I told you, no, it's not limited. So you can give edit in place. You can go to set. You can set some side or something. See, this curved positions cannot be set as a side or set as a basis for cutting or whatever you call it, voids. To create voids, it is not that easy to do it on a curved surface. It is not possible to do it on curved surface. So what we do is generally we'll go to, you'll just come out of it, go to level 3, maybe go to create a wall. I've not saved anything. I'll create the wall from here to here. Okay, create a wall. So if you go to 3D, you will find this wall. So again, select the previous mask, give edit in place, give set, and select this wall side. Then what you can do, you can create a void in circle, square, or whatnot, and then say create a void form. You can create a void form. It will ask whether it is a spherical one or it is a cylindrical one. Can you see? Spherical is not acceptable. Spherical will.
Yes, sir, you showed this last class.
Oh, I
Yes, sir.
showed this in the last
Could you
class.
show
Okay.
that wall placing again, sir?
Wall I
Just go to
placed
level.
coming out. It's very
Go to
simple.
level 3.
You
Yeah.
go to level and place the wall as and how you place the wall. But you need not be inside massing. You understood, Kavya? So when you're oh, I don't know who spoke, Priyanka or
Priyanka, sir.
Kavya. Okay. So wall placing is done. See, I want to create a void. Okay, maybe like this. I want to cut like this from here to here, like one bullet from here to here. So I'll delete this wall. I don't want this wall anymore. I'll go to level 3. Level 3 is the starting of that mask, no? I go to level
Yes, sir.
3, go to architecture, go to wall, and create a wall. That you do just like any wall. Go to
Yes, sir.
3D, then select this mask, give edit in place, then go to set, select this side of the wall. I think this gray thing is not very clear. Click this side of the wall and then maybe an octagon or whatsoever. Okay, hexagon
Okay.
like this. Okay, now select this and say create void form. So what will happen is it will cut. Oh, I think it should be done this way. It is cutting like this and all. Shapes are getting complicated. If sometimes if the axis is not selecting, you have to press Control and select all the lines. Oh yeah, I'm getting it. Finish. Oh, there's some problem. Select this and void form.
Sir, I think
Something
it's
is
because there is already one void.
no. You can make any n number of voids. See. only problem is if you don't set the plane properly. I think I set the plane wrongly. You understood? So now I give void. See, it's cutting. Can you see? So it's
Yes,
cutting.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So that's all. Finish. Delete this wall. I think it didn't cut across because I didn't drag that much.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So to select, if you want to select something, there's a tool called tab. Our tab key, you can use, press it multiple times and select what you exactly want. See, I think I've told in the last semester. See, I'm using tab. See how I now I correctly selected multiple times when you press tab. See, okay. So you give finish. Oh, I think I moved it out. I'm sorry, I moved it out of the view. See, I'm cutting this in a very different way. Just a minute. See, as I tried to select, I am selecting the other. See, this is purely a misplacement. Okay, you can do it properly if you are little careless, and if you are doing it properly, these things will work. And now I'm not going to sit and elaborate on that. I'm going to cancel. Oh no, you save, and that's about it. I'll remove this wall, and you will find that the voids are created. Any doubts in this?
No,
Please let
sir.
me know. Are
No,
you
sir.
No,
you
sir.
all you are clear about the voids, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay. Now talking about, these are the options. Now in this, what I have generally taught is, I have taught you the vertical mass, and the complexities. Like one thing is same shape, then another thing is two different shapes, making vertical mass out of two different shapes, same shape. And I also taught you how to adjust the shape by using split element, how to create a void after creating a particular mass. So now this creating split element, adjusting the shape, placement of the shape to the center, all these things will remain common for the horizontal mass or the path mass. I mean further classes. It will be common for further classes. Okay. So what's the time now?
4:30, sir, almost.
4:30. I think I'll stop with this class with horizontal mass itself, because the recording also might be making it heavier.
Okay, sir.
What do you guys say? You want me to continue with the horizontal massing, or you will check all these options and call back, or uh,
We'll
what
go
is that?
through one, sir.
We'll go through one, sir.
You go through
We'll
once
try it
and
out.
you try it out.
Yeah.
You all know, at least I can say 8.
I don't have laptop on this, sir. Still.
From where you are speaking now?
Phone, sir. We can even I'm speaking from phone only.
Even
Sir,
I'm
in mobile
using
only
from
I'm
phone,
seeing
sir.
the lesson, sir.
Laptop
So
takes too much
none of
internet.
you have it in laptop.
I
No,
have
sir,
Sir,
we
laptop,
don't.
others
sir.
were
I'm
asking for the
opening my
recording of the
laptop
video,
and
sir.
trying with you together.
Most people have, sir, but I don't have. That's the thing.
I see. Okay. So what
I'm
I'll do,
simultaneously doing with you, sir.
uh, what I will do is I'll stop the recording, and then I don't know whether I can send it to you as notes or whatever. That is
Sir, I
possible.
think you can upload it to Drive and send the link. Whoever wants,
Sir,
they'll download and see.
it's
Yes,
Yeah.
sir,
called
they were
recording.
actually asking for it.
What is it?
The call is recording, sir. So you
You
can.
can
Other students were
you
asking
can
for
upload the video
recording,
for
sir.
Drive, sir.
Okay. Okay. We'll do that. I'll stop. See, please don't upload this into YouTube because it is not taken in the way
No, no.
it has to be done in YouTube. Don't do all that.
Yeah, yeah, sir.
And
No,
what is one is that. Secondly, if you upload, it will come in your name. My name is not there.
yes, sir.
So that is
So it's my
that's
fault.
the thing. Okay.
Lol.
Uh, so I am also planning to have some YouTube classes in the future because if it is this simple, I will do it
Yes, sir.
to record. And but you have to edit these videos. Then only you can trim it to 5 minutes, 3 minutes. Otherwise,
That Krishna and Ritvik will do, sir, aram se.
uh, okay. So I will have a very crisp and clear video about all these things. It's a nice thing.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sir,
So
I think you
yeah.
can use OBS Studio or Streamlabs for better convenience. You
Oh,
will get
you
a
send
better
me that in
quality for
WhatsApp.
YouTube.
I don't know. I don't know all these
Yes, sir.
things. Just better send it to me through WhatsApp. I'll search for
Yeah.
those files. I mean
No,
softwares and.
no. Me conference. If you are taking class, you should take in this. But for YouTube, you can separately upload from this one.
I see.
Streamlabs,
I see.
OBS.
Uh,
Sir, class is over, sir.
yeah. So the class is over. I'll just check with the management whether I can continuously have the same class, right?
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
then if it is possible, I can every day 1 hour if I teach. I mean I can coolly
Good,
have.
you know.
The syllabus completed
Yes, sir.
and you can have the recording also, so
Yes, sir.
it's
Every
going
day
to be
1 hour is
wonderful.
peaceful.
Yeah, and it won't be boring. Okay.
Then
Okay
peace.
then,
Yes, sir.
so I'll end up the class.
Yes,
uh,
sir.
Yeah, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much, sir.
Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Bye,
sir.
sir.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, sir.